So, a part of your project proposal deliverable will be a UX competitive analysis. If you've ended up on this video organically on YouTube, this may not be as applicable to the information that you're looking for or the project that you're working on. This is specific to a class assignment. So, just want to preface that right away. Not going to be as detailed. I do have another video that you can probably look at in my playlist on competitive analysis that might be a little bit more helpful. So anyways, so for interactive design, for my class, what we want to focus on in our competitive analysis assignment is what's good, what can be improved, the feature list, so all the different, parts of the app and all the things that you can do in the app, as well as what's missing. So I've provided a template. You can use it. You can design your own, but I've given it to you just in case you wanted it. So here is the slide deck. Now this is a group deliverable, so you may want a way, you may want to set it up in a way where everyone can collaborate in the same place. So if you don't want to use Google Slides, you can probably do it in Figma. You can probably also do it in Adobe XD. You just need to be able to provide some sort of output, so like a PDF deck of your competitive analysis as the assignment. So for your competitive analysis, here are the things I'm looking for. So obviously your project title and the people that are working on it. Make sure you drop in your project proposal because I won't remember it unless you tell me what it is you're working on. Make sure you include your sources. So anything that you may have cited in your project proposal, you want to make sure you put it in here. The next one is, the areas of similarities, differences, and innovation. So in this example, I'm only showing two. You will probably have more because like each designer in your team is going to essentially contribute like their own apps. Well, not their apps, but like apps that they found to this competitive analysis. So the prompts that I've provided for you, your goal with the app design is to create this digital product to help solve a civic problem. So like not solve homelessness, but like create a tool to help connect people with housing, for example. So you may not find a lot of direct competitors per se. So like competitor here doesn't mean the same thing that it would out in the industry. So I work at Amazon. If I wanted to do a competitive analysis, I'd focus on like Best Buy, Target, Walmart, Alibaba, Currys, MediaMarkt. I'd focus on other e-com apps and sites. In this case, you're probably not going to find a direct competitor. Um, you may find indirect competitors. So you may find apps and websites that do similar things or tangential things. So let's say you're going to create a food pantry locator app. Um, you may want to look at apps like Yelp or TripAdvisor or Google Maps, other places that show you know um, places and how to get to those places. They can show photos, so it can show photos of food. Um, if you wanted to build in some sort of navigation tool, you may also want to look at things like Lyft and Uber, for example, because they'll have that geolocation functionality. They'll have the ability to call a car, to look at a route, to get somewhere, look at payment structures, etc. So competitive analysis is not the right word. I haven't found the right word, but this is the closest word or the closest phrase I could find. So this first table, you're identifying similarities, differences, and areas of innovation. So the areas of innovation, what I mean is like, what can they do better? Or like, where do you think they could do better? The next page is the feature audit. So again, this is just a template. This is just some ideas. But essentially on the left side here, you'll see that I've identified like really specific features. So like functionality or tools that exist in those apps. And I have notes here on that feature based on the specific app. So for example, so Ling and Duolingo, these are both language learning apps. So some of the features that I identified was gaming of lesson completion, learning pathways, and reminders and notifications. So in this first column, I've started describing like the gamification that Ling has. And then in this next one, I would provide information on the gamification that Duolingo has. And I essentially just repeat it. Again, you're working on this as a group, so you're going to have a lot of apps. So you may need to, expand this over a couple pages. Don't feel like you need to cram it all onto one slide. Again, this is just for illustrative purposes only. And then after that, you'll see here, like in that left rail, this is just a templated page. So what I'm looking for here are just a couple of screenshots from each app where you drop in that screenshot and you annotate it and you kind of explain some of the core functionality that they have. So let's say you had like 2 or 3 screens of Lyft, for example. I don't expect you to annotate like every single thing and be duplicative across multiple pages. Just note what's interesting or novel or relevant to your design. So if you were creating, so in this case, probably the closest way to map it would be some sort of tutoring app. So, I'm using Ling and Duolingo as apps that help teach things. So tutoring and teaching, they're similar enough. So I may note things like a reward gamification or point system as a way to incentivize students to return and to continue learning and to continue engaging with it. If I had 3 screenshots of Ling, I don't need to say the same thing 3 times. Just move on. I would just move on to whatever's novel or interesting or relevant to your project. Yeah, so each of these other screens are just copies. They're just duplicates of one another. So this is just a template for what you can use. If you want to create your own look and feel, be my guest. I don't mind. I won't take it personally. I just wanted to help cut down on some of the workload, so that's why I created a template. So that's it. Make sure you look at the rubric and the assignment details. That will have the most like up-to-date requirements for your deliverable so that you can get all the points that you've earned. Great. Let me know if you have any questions.